drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning? I'm Paul Bennett at Shoestring Shipyard. Welcome to this series on Build Your Own Dinghy. This series features an 8-foot Frugal Skiff, which is one of my designs. It was one I designed many years ago at Shoestring Shipyard when it was located on Cape Cod. I'm now up here in Maine. I'm retired, and this is a set of plans I don't offer on the Shoestring Shipyard website any longer. However, there's been a lot of positive feedback when I posted this series on my Down East Thunder Creations YouTube channel, and so there's a possibility I may bring this back. Who knows, it might be one of my next giveaways. So, welcome to the beginning of this tutorial. It was originally 26 separate videos, part 1 through 26, on my Down East Thunder Creation site. What I'm doing now is I'm repackaging, reprocessing all of those videos, and so this one here, it includes this introduction. There's a little bit more of me from the older one that's going to follow this. And then, instead of just step 1, which is cutting out the stem, that only takes a few seconds, what I'm doing is I'm combining steps 1, 2, and 3, and I'll separate those with a screenshot indicating the next step. If you don't want to watch a step, you can just go ahead and fast forward, just scroll on by. And I'm going to do that with all the rest of these. So instead of 26 separate videos, there'll only be, well, I don't know how many yet, but I'll be combining maybe 3, 4, or 2, depending on how long each step is. I'll just combine them together, and so you won't have as many videos that you have to watch. And I'm cutting out a lot of it that's really unnecessary, and you don't have all the separate introductions and everything else, so that'll cut down on time, and I can condense them, and so you can get through it a lot faster. So if you ever have any questions or you have any comments, feel free to use the comment section below the video, and I hope you'll help me grow the channel by subscribing and ringing that little bell, and also sharing, commenting, giving me a like. Appreciate it. That all helps, and it's free. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. You may even want to consider checking out my Patreon page. The link is below in the video description. So I do appreciate it, and YouTube doesn't really recognize my other channel, which is pretty well established, over 3 years, and has thousands of subscribers. They treat this new channel as if I'm starting all over again right from scratch. So I have to build it up, build it up, build it up. The other ones don't count. So please help me out. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Building a small boat like this using simple plywood construction techniques is really quite simple. If you have any woodworking experience at all, it's a piece of cake. You don't have to do any steam bending, you don't have to build any strong backs or special jigs, and you'll see how that works. what I did is I took the plans and I laid the lines out for the transom on some 3/4 inch plywood, and just the way I did the main frame, the exact same way. And so now I have a transom drawn on the plywood full size. And but the transom, which is the rear of the boat, you non-boat people, the plywood of course has a good face and a not so good face, and this is the good face. There's the not so good face. And and the transom has bevels on the sides and along the bottom, and the bevels should face towards the rear of the boat. In other words, if this is the back of the boat, the bevels are going to face inboard that way and that way, and there's a bottom bevel that would be facing like this. So the bevels are given on the plans, just as I got bevels from other things. The side, right now I want to cut the bottom bevel, and I've already got I took this, I put this on the plans, my bevel gauge, and I set the bevel to the proper angle. And I've already got my saw here, my circular saw, set to the proper angle. Now I just have to set the depth, and that's far too much. So what I want to do is I want to drop this down and bring this out a little. It's an old saw, so I can lock it. I've got the saw set. I want that angle facing in. And I'll just cut right along the line. I now have my bottom bevel cut. You can see how it's sloped towards the rear. And I was able to do that freehand, and it doesn't have to be all that precise, it's just pretty close. And you'll see why later. There's going to be a lot of fitting and sanding as we assemble the boat. And now I'm just going to cut out the side bevels. They're a different angle, but I have a side bevel to cut here, again inboard towards the rear. The same thing on the other end. I'll do that off camera because it's just really a repeat of cutting the bottom bevel. It's just a slightly different angle. As you can see here, I completed the transom. I just cleaned it up a little bit, and she's all ready to go. She's got the bevels cut, and I have my stem, as you saw earlier. The main frame is complete, and that's assembled. And so we have the structural components to build up what makes up the framework of the boat. All that's left now to start putting the boat together would be the side panels. And so that'll be next.
What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor?